You know, Dave Chapman losing to Sean Lenning in 2008 on this court, very similar to that first game, very lopsided. We thought we might see the reverse of that here, Dave, but thus far today, it's been a repeat of that match in their first encounter since Dave Chapman's comeback, which started in early 2008.
Waiting for the ref to call the score.
Start game 2. Chapman serving 0-0.
Score now 0-0 as we start game 2.
Dave not executing off the back wall as we're accustomed to seeing. Also, Dave, he's not taking a lot of balls out of the air.
Point.
Which is really a trademark of his game, those paddle fly kills. Sean slid on the floor there, and there's a big wet spot. We'll check out that last shot from Dave Chapman that sent Sean Lenning sliding across the court into that left side wall. See that deep back wall kill across the court. Sean Lenning down on a knee and unable to make the pickup.
It shows you how good Sean is.
1-0.
He was mad at himself for not being able to pick up that ball. He's really tuned in right here.
You'll see the top handball players, Dave, if they get their hand on the ball, they expect to make the ball back to the front wall. Just like a great receiver, if they get their fingertips on the ball, they should make that catch.
That stuff doesn't fool Sean Lenning.
Well, it might not fool him, but it's still an effective shot. There's really nothing anyone can do with a ball that's sliding straight down that left wall. Sean pinches the corner. That's a mistake. And there's the Dave Chapman that
Look at that get from Sean Lenning.
we're used to seeing.
And Sean punches it down the left. Dave's going to have to retrieve. Sean goes back down the left. Look at that shot from Sean Lenning. Typical Sean Lenning, too, by the way.
Amazing kill there, and that was the 26th shot of that rally.
0-1.
Sean able to find the strength in his legs here.
Look at that
and
get
look
right.
at that amazing get. Dave Chapman sends his ball back down the right, which you'd expect. Sean
Second serve.
retakes control of the rally with that fist, and now it's a pass behind
Point.
Dave. And let's look at this shot. Off balance, falling back with his left hand, kills it straight down the left wall.
1-1.
That instant replay brought to you by Owen Gloves. Owen Gloves, durable. They're fresh.
I want to thank Tom Cobb, who produces those great gloves that many of the pro players are wearing.
Side out.
What in the Andy Net's going on with that dive from Sean Lenning? Tried to punch fist that. Actually, maybe more of a backhanded flick. Didn't make it to the front wall.
Obscure reference, but a good one. That's the Minnesota Dreamboat. We'll see him in action, Dave, in just a couple of weeks at his hometown event there in the
1-1.
WPH Fireball Minnesota Pro Stop. I know that many of these tournaments have 20-word titles, and I just
Said all of them.
tried to.
Andy Net said he couldn't make it due to a wedding.
And you see Dave pushing Sean around the court now, side to side. That lateral movement is what'll wear down your legs and lungs more quickly than anything.
2-1.
2 serves 1.
Point. What's wrong? I didn't see that. I'm watching him.
What is he saying there, Dave?
He's saying that Dave was in his way on his
I
backswing
agree
on
that
one
he
of these
can't get
shots.
too
He said he
close.
wasn't able to
I'm
take a
watching
full
it. I'm
backswing.
watching it.
We'll see if the I
That's-
think that's the swing that Sean's referring to there.
Does Sean even have a backswing? He keeps his hands in his pockets during rallies, and he just pulls it out really quick like a gunslinger and just shoots the ball. We don't even know if he puts it into his
3-1.
pocket, takes it out, and then throws it. Still there.
You know, Dave, after a side-to-side rally that you lose like that, there's a certain amount of frustration there. He took it out on the referee there. You see Sean just come over that ball with his left hand. Not even really a full swing. Uses the overspin on that ball to keep the ball down and also run it down that right side wall.
Score is 1-3.
Second serve.
Sean looks like he's wearing racing shoes, Dave. I don't think you buy those at the F1 store.
Point.
Amazing shot there from Sean. Lifted that front foot.
2-3.
Score is 2-3 here. Second game, Sean Lenning wins the first one, 21-9. Sean Lenning looks really good.
Second serve. Side out.
That's a shot that Sean would like to have back. Pretty routine re-kill there from Sean. Had Dave
3-2.
well behind him. Unable to execute.
Nice call. Side out.
Dave calling a wrist there off the back wall. Hard to hit the ball off your wrist on the back wall, Dave, but
it's even
sort
harder.
of a strange, and also make it back to the front wall.
It's even harder to do when you're Dave Chapman.
Sean has a laugh about that.
2-3. Short. Second serve. Side out.
We see that second serve that James Komsoff, our guest webcaster, mentioned yesterday. It just seems like Sean just picks that ball up and just throws it into play without much thought whatsoever. And Dave Chapman takes that ball off the back wall and kills it.
Score here is 3-2, game 2.
We used to see Sean hit that hard 2-wall serve, Dave, for a second serve.
Point.
Sean with a big missed opportunity there.
You know,
Had
he's
the
missing
whole right
opportunities, but he's getting to every ball that is hit from Dave Chapman. He just, the points that have been scored are all where Sean actually had a hand on it in this second game.
That's true. Sean will not get a hand on that ball. That's
Sean,
a great combination from Dave.
Could have left his feet if he wanted to, but I think he was destined
5-2.
to not get that no matter what. 5 serves 2. I want to ask you about something here.
He's appealing a slide on the side wall. I saw it good. Both agree. Call stands.
I want to ask you something here. Mr. Fink.
2-5.
Wait till this point plays out.
Nice reverse on that ball from Sean, but Dave follows it and sends it right back to the ceiling. And you see how low Dave gets there to hit that back wall kill.
Now, Sean
5-2.
Sean Lenning hasn't really clearly shown that his right arm is messed up, but you and I have seen that he's kind of favored it on certain shots. Why is Dave Chapman serving to that amazing left hand of Sean Lenning's? I couldn't understand it in earlier rounds either. And is it that they don't know that he's injured, or do they? I mean, it's clearly obvious that Sean Lenning is favoring his right on some shots. Why wouldn't they just serve everything over there and try to wear it out?
Well, we've seen Dave serve 4 or 5 different serves in this match, trying to find any serve that will yield some sort of setup. We haven't seen him go to the right hand, though. You would think even if Sean's right hand was strong, he might think about serving to the right, just because he hasn't had any success.
Slide ball replay.
Dave Chapman's pounding every single ball over to Sean Lenning's left.
Well, Dave likes to play the left hand because the ball then comes back to his right, which is what he wants.
3-5.
3 serves 5.
Side out.
Great hands from Dave. Actually cuts that ball almost like a slice.
I think
5-3.
if Dave Chapman had the opportunity to narrow the court down to about 10 feet wide, he'd rather play that way. He only plays on that left side if he can. very rarely even hitting the ball the other side. It's just all played right here.
That's a bad air there from Sean. Had an easy opportunity. Fist that ball into the back wall. And Dave once again tries to take that ball out of the air on the back wall, front wall shot, and pops it up again. Normally I see Dave execute those kills with ease, and there it is again. You see, catches out in the wrong part of his hand. Sean's there to cover it, and Dave unable to track down that pass.
3-5.
Dave could have popped out of there really quick too. It was later. He actually didn't have the anticipation we normally see.
Second serve.
3 serves, 5-second game. Sean Lenning wins the first, 121-9. This is the men's semifinals of the U.S. Open of Handball.
Point.
It's like that ball just doesn't faze Sean Lenning whatsoever.
Sean had that opportunity 3 times before killing that ball with his left hand.
4-5.
You saw Dave receiving serve there with his hands on his knees. He looked a little bit winded there, Dave. But that is a great
That's the first
kill.
time that Dave Chapman has gone over to the right side of the court. And by the right side, I mean anywhere from the halfway spot over to the right. Everything's been peppered down that left. The score is 5-4. Dave Chapman is in the lead here, but the game is obviously pretty close. My name is Dave Vincent alongside David Fink. You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Let's go courtside with Fred Lewis, who is in the gallery. Fred.
Well, so far we've seen some inconsistent play from both players. Neither one of them has been able to take control. David's been a little uncharacteristically easing up in the front court, and you can't do that with Sean. You got to either run the ball down the wall hard or kill. He's left a couple of balls up. Sean also, he needs to shoot either the angle or 2-wall passes. You can't put the ball down in front of David in the center of the court, which he's done a couple of times. So, this game is a long way from over. Like to see some more intensity there from the ball players. Looks like they're both coasting right now. Of course, Sean's got one game in his back pocket, so let's see what happens from here on out.
Hey, really quickly, Fred, in these moments where you and I both know that these guys are coasting here at 4-5, do you think that's an indication that maybe somebody might want to tweak the scoring down to maybe a 15-point game as opposed to 21?
No, because stamina should be a part of this.
But clearly this coasting has nothing to do with stamina. They're really just wasting time until they get to that point where they feel like they want to turn it up. Is that good for the fans?
Well, I disagree with you, Dave. I think that it's just a matter of intensity. If Paul Brady was in here playing this match right now, he would not be coasting. And I think that's what we want to see from our pro handball players. We want to see them going all out, where they're not afraid of getting tired, and that comes with getting in shape.
We're going to take a 2-minute glove change here. We've really been trying to talk about these courts that are getting wet, Dave. And earlier they had a refs meeting. Fred, you're in on this too. They had a referees meeting where they said during the timeouts, the referee is going to be really cautious and make sure to alert the players to change their gloves and their shirts. We just had a timeout. Sean Lenning gets back in there, and his gloves are completely wet after one rally. And that was during, I believe it was a 2-minute glove change for Dave Chapman. It's really odd to see a player come back in and we call another glove change. Shouldn't the referees, Fred, be looking down there and forcing these guys to change their shirts, especially in a situation where the courts are really wet like this?
Well, yeah, absolutely. In other words, we're losing more time here. It gets boring from the fans to see all these timeouts. But, to give this referee credit, he's done a great job. Every referee is going to miss something here every now and then. Maybe we just need somebody else to be focused on glove changes and shirt changes and eye guard changes and whatever, so that you keep the momentum going. Referee has a lot to worry about. The referees main objective should be to call a good game and, not have to worry about shirt timeouts and glove timeouts, et cetera, et cetera.
And eye guard timeouts.
Well, the eye guard timeout is where you look like the Lone Ranger, where you're wearing that cotton eye guard. Yeah, I wear it. Fred, thanks for your analysis there. The guys are obviously cleaning up the court here. It's getting very wet. We've already told the fans watching on the live webcast that we could be moving to another court if this gets sloppy. And you've already seen about 5 sloppy shots, all in favor of Sean Lenning. Dave Chapman looks like he gets a pass, and then it becomes a slide, and then he doesn't get that point. So if it gets too dangerous in there, or if it just slides on every shot, we're going to move over to another court. We're back into play here.
And we'll have another towel timeout there, you would think. Sean with a sloppy return there. I actually respectfully disagree with both of you about the coasting. I think these guys are playing. This is just their style. This is how they look in there. They look effortless. I don't think it has anything to do with them not giving their full effort or even pacing themselves. I think this is just how they look.
So you just took the high road on that then?
Well, I've never been on it before. I'm on it now.
How does it feel? Score is 4-6.
Strange.
It's an awkward position, isn't it? Sean's going to go for another slide call there.
Perfectly placed ceiling return from Dave.
6-4.
Score is 6-4.
We've seen that 6 times here in this second game, Dave. Sean going down to a knee, had a good swing at the ball and just put it in the floor. Very surprising.
7-4.
Score is 7-4.
There it is again. That's a great shot from Dave. Dave plays that cat and mouse style there. He paddled that ball down the right wall. Sean picks it up and goes right over to the left. Sean unable to cover that ball. I know we'll get a nice replay of that shot.
You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Simple Green all-purpose cleaner, biodegradable, non-toxic, and concentrated. Custom dilute for use all over your home and garage, outside, inside. Save time, save money with Simple Green.
Dave not sharp on that re-kill. Leaves it up and Sean stretches out. But now it's quietly Dave Chapman with an 8-4 advantage here. Sean's been unable to locate that serve thus far in this second game. And this is the result, David, that weak second serve from Sean Lenning. Dave Chapman takes that ball up to the ceiling, and Sean Lenning is playing into Dave Chapman's game rather than being able to dictate play from the front court.
Here's a setup for Dave Chapman. And he just hits it into the ground there. 4 serves 8, second game. Men's semifinals.
4-8.
Going back to that comment you made about the style of these players, the more I think about it, I think you're right about the style of Dave Chapman. Sean Lenning, though, will change his style and go to the ground and pound. If he were to play a guy like Paul Brady, he would change his style up and it might seem a little bit more energized.
But this is a new Sean Lenning. This is
right.
This is sort of the change-up junk ball Sean Lenning since the arm injury. Beautiful pass. Sean looks like he's a little bit fatigued right now.
I mean, I guess my point would be, I guess you could criticize it from a fan standpoint that the guys aren't, picking up their pace, but it is their style. And I guess there's people that can criticize Tim Wakefield for throwing a knuckleball 90% of the time, but that's what he does. He's a knuckleball pitcher. Dave Chapman certainly has his own style, and Sean is playing his game right now.
You look at somebody like LeBron James, it looks like he's not even trying out there or running, Dave, and then you look at someone like Kobe, who looks like he's killing himself for every point, but they're both out there giving it their all, unless it's the last couple of minutes of a playoff game when LeBron quits, but for the most part.
10 serves 4. That's a timeout called from Sean Lenning. The score now 11-4 in favor of Dave Chapman.
And while we go to Fred Lewis, we'll take a close-up look and a slow motion replay of this great back wall kill. Dave Chapman letting this ball drop so low off the back wall and drilling it into that right corner. Watch this. Look at how low he makes contact with that ball, Dave.
There are times we've seen that in slow-mo replay where Dave Chapman looks like he's just scraping the floor there. Let's go to Fred Lewis, who played with players who scraped the floor on their back wall shots, namely Paul Haber. Fred, is there a similarity between Dave Chapman and Paul Haber?
Well, the similarity is in the philosophy of the game, playing percentage handball. Both players had just unbelievable control of their ceiling game. David brings a little bit different dimension because his front court game is so good. But the key is to hit the right shot at the right time. And, David hits the right shot probably 90 to 95% of the time. He's got Sean kind of where he wants him right now. Sean overhitting his ceiling shots. The ball's coming off the back wall, and David is finding the rhythm. And as a result, he's not giving Sean a second opportunity. He's putting the first shot away, and again, it remains to be seen if Sean could turn it around. But he's going to have to do a better job with his overhand left in terms of keeping the ball off the back wall.
You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Voice there from 6-time national four-wall champion Fred Lewis, who played alongside the greats like Jimmy Jacobs and Paul Haber and Vern Roberts, Nadi Alvarado Sr., Dennis Hoflander. I can keep going. And you know I will.
Dave throws a big reverse on that ball. Forces a weak return from Sean. Now it's just Sean scrambling wildly all over the court. That game plan that was executed so well in the first game has been non-existent here in the second game from Sean Lenning.
Score is 12-4. I call it more of the wildcat offense from Sean Lenning.
The first game we saw him in the pro set.
I was waiting for Ricky Williams to do something, but this isn't doubles.
4-12.
I was with you until the doubles.
Green ball.
Well, it would take Ricky Williams to be on the court, and this is singles, so.
2 serves, 1 screen.
Yeah.
Maybe I should stay in this era when I make my references. I'll use Michael Vick next time as an example.
Ricky Williams still playing.
Yeah.
Successful, 34 years old, still one of the top running backs in the NFL.
But you didn't get what I was saying, though.
Well, I do. I just don't know why it has to be doubles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also won the Heisman at the University of Texas. Spent a couple years in a third world country, strung out on drugs. Yeah, I know him well.
This is game number 2 of the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Chapman has 12 points. Sean Lenning has 4. Chapman only got 9 points in the first game when he lost to the hand of Sean, 21-9. You're listening to the voices of David Fink, top 6 pro, although you always get the 9 seed at every tournament you enter. And yours truly, Dave Vincent, sideline reporter, as Fred Lewis will be going back to him soon. Fred's going to try to line up some interviews.
Interesting, other sports don't go by the same seeding policies in the NFL. The team with the best record gets home field advantage in the playoffs. Maybe they should think about arbitrarily assigning home field advantage to whoever they think was the best team, but for whatever reason.
It's like the 8th grade prom. You vote to see who the king and the queen is based on popularity and who you like. And I guess you're just not not very liked around these parts. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah, right.
I'm also reporting.
Resuming play.
It's a hypothesis.
4.
12 serves 4. That's going to make it to the front wall.
A lazy shot there from Sean. All he needed was a little bit of velocity on that ball to take it past Dave. And it looks like now by Sean's body language, Dave, that he's saving himself for the tiebreaker. I think he realizes he's got a much better chance to score 11 in the third game than he does to score 17 before Dave scores 9.
That ball certainly did slide. Let's take a quick look at that. It slid, but this is a good shot from Dave Chapman.
It would have been one of those very difficult gets from Sean Lenning.
Watch what Dave does off the back wall here.
Watch how low this ball drops.
And just at the last second when he hits the sidewall, it just...
12-4.
Yeah, Sean would have probably had his glove on that.
Actually, it's very difficult to judge a slide in slow motion, Dave. Everything looks like it catches the wall at super slow speed. And now this is basically a reverse of the first game where it was Sean Lenning who raced to a 15-3 lead. And now we see Dave Chapman leading 13-4. Sean Lenning winning that first game 21-9.
I thought that ball was short, Dave. You might
see if there's an appeal. Mistake there from Dave, and it's a good shot from Sean. Thought Sean was going to take that ball down the right wall, but he actually reversed the direction of the ball and went into the left corner.
Wow.
Point.
That ball was struck right about shoulder level from Sean Lenning.
5-13.
5 serves 13. This is the second game. Dave Chapman trying to get to the tiebreaker. It looked like another close serve right there. Not called.
Point.
Smart shot there from Sean. Recognizes that floating 3-wall shot, and Dave looks like he'll take a timeout. No, he won't. That's a great lesson for players watching at home, Dave, when you have your opponent behind you and they throw up that weak 3-wall shot to try and get themselves out of trouble. Go ahead and step in and take that ball out of the air. Amazing touch there from Dave.
You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball men's semifinals. Winner of this one will face the winner of Alan Garner and Luis Moreno.
13-6.
Match that comes up right after this one on the live webcast. Webcast provided by the World Players of Handball at WPHLive.tv, courtesy of NiftyTV.com.
Terrible miss hit there from Sean. Didn't look confident at any point in that swing.
14-6.
Score is 14-6 here.
Dave stretches out for that ball. Sean came in and misjudged that ball. Actually ended up trying to hit that with the back of his right hand.
In fact, he jumped over it. It happens often. It's really frustrating when you have to dive and do a backhand like that. For some reason, the weight of your body sometimes will either take you fly over the ball, or you fly under it. It's very hard to get the timing right.
Just want to let that one linger. Flying over and under, backhanded. Not really sure where you are.
Let's go over
or
to
why you're there.
Let's go to Fred Lewis really quick. Fred.
Well, you know, it's obvious Sean's right hand is bothering him. I don't see him taking a full swing at the ball like he was in the first game. You know, he's leveling off much better with his left. There's a great example. You know, he's going to have to start powering the ball with his right hand if he wants to get back into this match.
It's 6-15. Fred, if you were in the court right here and you knew that Sean Lenning had a problem with his right, would you serve the ball to his left continuously?
Well, are you asking me or David? Because David's best serve is the lob to the left, and you know it doesn't matter. You know what, whether it goes to his right hand or not. In other words, there it is right there. You know, Sean makes an error off the lob serve. All David wants to do is get Sean into a rally where he's going upstairs, and David is definitely has the control right now. And Sean is going to, you know, either make a mistake or give him a back wall setup unless he can put the ball back in the left-hand corner. So that's David's game. It's just really simple.
Replay.
That's a good replay call right there. Fred Lewis in the gallery with the headset on and the wireless microphone. You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. I guess my question was, and I'm not going to go back to Fred on this, but Fred can think about this, is knowing that Sean has that ailing right arm, and I'm just surprised that Dave is just feeding most every ball.
Well, I agree with you, Dave, and I don't know if Fred really understood your question there, because if Sean can take that ball up high with his left hand, you'd think maybe if his right arm's a little bit weaker, he will miss the ceiling more often with his right overhand than his left, should his arm be bothering him. And that certainly would be the ideal return for Dave, is a high missed ceiling shot that comes way off the back wall and he can end the rally. Sean with a backhanded shot there. Dave misses his spot with that pass. But you see Dave hit not only that lob down the left, but he also has the same lob serve down the right. It's just as good.
I think what's deceptive about Sean is when he's in the server's box, he can serve with all that power that he's always had because of the manner in which he's hitting the ball. It's more underhand, like you called it yesterday, a modified Irish whip.
17.
You see he's down low like that. It doesn't seem like there's any pain from down there, but when he brings it up just a little bit, that's where he's having troubles. And he's also not just taking 20% off. It seems like he's taking 40% off in a lot of these shots.
8-17.
That last shot was incredible. Falling back with his left hand. Rolls it out.
Second serve. Side out.
Strange second serve right there from Sean Lenning.
17-8.
Score is 17 serves 8. Nice get right there from Sean Lenning.
Point.
See how Dave takes that ball early on the way up. Doesn't allow Sean the time to recover. Watch how smart this is from Dave. He drives this ball straight down the right wall. Sean makes a great get here. Now, a lot of players would let this ball bounce. You see Sean still on the ground when Dave makes contact with that shot. Takes his time away from him. Sean with a nice ceiling shot. Dave right back to the ceiling.
Side out.
You see Dave give Sean a quick glance there. That was an amazing kill from Sean.
18.
If Dave Chapman can hold Sean Lenning to 8, he will get the first serve in the tiebreaker.
Point.
Never mind. Now it's going to be the least it'll be a coin toss. That's if it goes breaker. You're watching game number 2 of the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Sean Lenning wearing the basketball shoes from the ABA.
Thought those were the Michael Schumacher F1 Ferrari shoes.
Okay. Sean going old school there, or just Italian.
Those look like your clubbing shoes, Dave. Weren't those the shoes you were dancing in last night?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
The exact shoes, actually.
Oh.
Sean
Nice of you to be so generous and selfless.
No, it was actually
Share.
Sean who was generous. They're not mine. I sometimes wear them when I go clubbing.
We're just about 50 minutes, Dave, from Hollywood, Beverly Hills.
Or 20 minutes if you drive with Fred Lewis. Fred, you're courtside now. Is this a timeout, a towel timeout, a shoe change? What is going on here?
Well, it looks like, it's an equipment timeout, and they're taking time to wipe the court down. I'm assuming that there's wet spots on the court.
It would stand to reason.
You're watching a towel timeout. It started off as a shoelace repairing job from Sean. Now it's a towel timeout. Now it's play back in, 9 serves 18. Dave Chapman trying to force a tiebreaker here after losing the first one 21-9. Dave Chapman is completely comfortable with playing 3-hour matches, by the way. I guess he would rather just play his game, and maybe you've talked to him throughout the years, Dave, but Dave Chapman doesn't mind going out there and putting in a 2-hour match. What's his philosophy behind that?
Well,
18-9.
Dave won't talk in specifics very often, but
Point.
you would think Dave wants to play a 2 or 3 hour match at his own pace
One agrees, one disagrees. Call
while he's dictating play. Dave with amazing diving rekill, and we'll get a look at this, Dave. It looked like Sean had ended the rally with that service return kill, but Dave dove in and paddled that ball into the left corner. Sean had no play on it. And here it is. Sean goes for the kill here. Dave dives in.
And the question with the referee was whether or not the ball was short or not short. That replay right there doesn't really show the ball at the line because it's out of camera angle, but
We actually couldn't see that ball
Throw me one of those towels.
make it to the front wall because the camera's vision was blocked by Dave.
here's a great Duxie Walsh next to Michael Gregan, both from County Wicklow. Michael is from Cool Boy.
Michael's sporting a Frohawk this week, Dave.
I was like, what in the, I don't know.
I'll give you time to think about that. Duxie will be playing doubles later today.
Like,
He'll be facing countryman Owen Kennedy and Desi Keegan. Are you ready now?
Yeah, I was thinking it was David Beck for a short time there.
It's actually David Beckham.
For a short time there. 19 serves 9. Oh.
You need that extra 5 or 6 seconds there.
I needed one more second to get it right.
Okay.
I wish I was more adverse in my sports. I don't watch sports channels with the volume turned down, so I'm just not quite as smart as you are.
9-19.
9 serves 19. Sean Lenning serving here. Crowd really quiet in the
Second
gallery.
serve. Right out.
Sean has won 0 points when he's hit a second serve, and mainly because that second serve is
19-9.
completely ineffective.
Side out.
I didn't.
See a slide. He's feeling a slide on the wall.
This will be overturned.
I disagree. I didn't see a slide either.
Let's take a quick look at that replay here. As Dave Chapman said that he felt that ball slid.
We might do this in regular motion here, Dave, because the slow motion does not really show a slide. I could see how Dave thought that slid, but I think that ball hit the floor, the sidewall at the same time and just took one of those bounces that just goes completely straight.
Second serve.
These last few points have taken over 30 minutes.
Last few?
Yeah, there hasn't been
Replay.
very many. Sean scored one about 20 minutes ago, bringing it to 9.
9-19.
Now Sean Lenning's going to at least get the first serve if it goes to the tiebreaker. Dave Chapman changing his gloves here. You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball live from the Los Caballeros Sports Village in Fountain Valley, California. My name is Dave Vincent alongside David Fink. This tournament namesake goes to Simple Green, all-purpose cleaner, biodegradable, non-toxic, and concentrated. You can custom dilute your Simple Green product for use all over your home and garage, inside, outside. Save time, save money with Simple Green. If you're on the net right now browsing around, just go over to our web store at thehandballstore.com and check out the products available inside the WPH web store. Your purchase is completely gracious of you, thankful on our part. We appreciate your support. It's always nice to have you do that.
I think what you're trying to say, Dave, is that we are member driven. So all of this that you're able to watch here today is because of the memberships that we sell. Incredible deal, over $200 worth of value for just $30 if you buy today at the tournament or online. You'll receive the DVDs of the last 2 National Championship finals, also the Dave Chapman instructional DVD. You'll be given the link to all the live webcasts throughout the year. Also all of the matches uploaded on Vimeo. There's now 117 matches on the Vimeo, and we're uploading more each day.
That's the WPH web store at thehandballstore.com. Support the sport, help out the WPH, and we can do more live webcasts. In the meantime, let's go over to Fred Lewis, who's in the gallery with one of the players in the tournament. Fred?
Actually, I've got 2 players here. I've got the national champions, the American national champions from Ireland, Duxie Walsh and Tom Sheridan. Guys, you had a great match yesterday. It was a great come-from-behind win. How you guys feeling today?
Fred, we're feeling a little bit tired, but it's very warm and humid in the alley yesterday. But we're feeling good today and looking forward to a good match.
Well, you know, you guys got behind the first game yesterday, and you hung in there, came back, and took care of business, especially there in the third game. Duxie, how are you doing today? How are your chances against your countrymen?
It's 50-50, Fred. We know them and they know us, and it'll be a different game today. 2 of us played bad yesterday, but hopefully we can give a better performance today. Looking forward to it.
Well, we're looking forward to it. It should be pretty interesting. You guys play against, have you played against them before?
No, because we mixed a match back home. We played Owen and we played Desi separately. We're not together.
Well, good luck to you guys. We look forward to seeing you a little bit later. Thanks.
That match is going to take place at 3:30 this afternoon right here, men's semifinals of the pro doubles. Tom Sheridan and Duxie Walsh, and if playing bad, like Duxie Walsh says, is how he defines it, I'd like to play like Duxie Walsh every single day. He looked really good last night, I thought.
Duxie turned up his game late in that second game and also in the tiebreaker. We talked to Chris Watkins, who said that he just started locating that serve, particularly in the tiebreaker, and that was the difference.
10-19.
Score's now 10-19. Sean Lenning facing a big deficit here. Dave Chapman built the deficit, moving Sean laterally and executing a number of back wall and paddle kills in the front court. There's Sean. You see he takes a lot off of that right-handed swing. Normally we'd see that ball flying across the floor at about 86 miles per hour, but Sean now in the low 60s on most of these swings.
Point. $12-19. Good. Second serve.
We'll see if Sean maintains his streak of winning 0 points when hitting a second serve.
That's a yes.
It continues. Sean will not win many points, Dave, when he's
19-12.
forced into that left side wall in back left corner. Here's a setup for Dave. Big one.
Point.
Puts a big hop on that ball and Sean actually overruns it because that ball hit the floor, checked up, and came back to the right.
20, game point, serves 12.
This is 20 serves 12, game point.
Side out.
Wow. We didn't really get to see the full shot there, but that was an overhand tomahawk in the right corner on the right side of the court.
12-20.
That's so hard to do from that position. I only know one person would even try to do that.
That's
Side out.
Dave's favorite shot.
Dave said he's going to teach that at his Vegas fantasy
20,
camp coming up in
12.
December.
It's actually the elite camp.
I made the fantasy part up. You do it your way, I do it mine.
Game, 5 minutes.
Dave Chapman takes it, forces the tiebreaker, losing the first game he did, 21-9, coming back though to win second game, 21-12 over Sean Lenning. You're watching the men's semifinals as we now go breaker. Getting ready for that third game, 2-11 points. Even though we have Fred Lewis courtside, we are going to take a quick break and we're going to come back to him in about 4 minutes as we get ready for game number 3. For Chris Garrad, Jeff Kastner, Dave Fink, Fred Lewis, my name is Dave Vincent. We'll be back here at the Los Caballero Sports Village in Fountain Valley, California. This is a production of the World Players of Handball, and we'll be back at WPHLive.tv in just a bit. Stick with us.